Hello. Hello everybody, it is Kyle Lucas, and before we get started with, well, explaining how I knew I was transgender, because I do get asked that a lot, I'm going to make a quick announcement and announce that this Saturday is my top surgery consultation, which is really exciting, and which that event itself kind of inspired me to make this, because I do get asked a lot how I knew or when I realized. And if your story isn't like this at all, you're still valid. Everyone's different. So, yeah. Also, if you're not subscribed, go do that now. Like the video. I make LGBT related videos as well as random ones. So, yeah, enjoy. So, growing up, I knew that there was always something different about me, but I could never, like, put my finger on it. Although I do separately struggle with body issues other than, like, you know, there was always just something else. It wasn't just my weight, because I used to be overweight. That's for a different story time though. So I remember in about 7th grade, my uncle had moved out and he left some clothes in his room. And I'd go in there and I'd look at them. And one day I decided to take him to his collared shirts to the bathroom with me. And I remember taking an ace bandage. Don't do this, but I didn't know at the time not to do this. And I wrapped up what I had of boobs and I put on the shirt, and then I put my hair up in a beanie and was jokingly like, haha, I look like a boy. But I kind of stared into that mirror and saw the person that I wish I could have saw since the beginning. It was really weird. And I didn't understand what was happening. Like, it was like I was looking at the right thing. Like, I remember also like filling in my eyebrows dark, because I used to have really thin tweezed eyebrows, and contouring my cheekbones and stuff, and just kind of looking at myself. Because I didn't really understand what was going on, I went to Tumblr and I like typed in like transgender or something along that, and I contacted some random person from the internet and kind of explained to them what was going on. I was like, why do I feel so happy like this? And I don't remember what the conversation was. You know, I was in 7th grade. If I was still in school, I would be in 11th grade now. But I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't talk to anyone about it. Not my close friends, not any family, just that one person who I never ever talked to again. Wonder what they're doing with life. I went on with my years and not talking about it. I'd randomly do the same thing, put on guy clothes. I'd take pictures, later delete them so no one would find them, and just kind of... When I got into a weird stage of, not saying that cosplay is weird, but I don't cosplay anymore. I don't watch anime, but when I was really, really into that, it would always be guy characters. And, you know, it would make me feel good about myself, and you know, I just kept getting older and like didn't like what was slowly growing. And although I've never really had big boobs, I've always been less than an A. I still didn't like it there. Didn't like the other area. And like there'd be times in school where I would just look at guys and be like, wow, you know, it'd be a lot easier just be like that, but I wasn't. Another thing is, one of my mom's main goals of life was to have a girl. And I didn't want to ruin that for her, and sadly I had to, but like, I just kept trying to fix it and forget about it to make sure I didn't crush her dreams. Because that's all she ever really wanted, was a girl. She as well had a kid when she wasn't supposed to. And I was that last kid that she had really late in life, so. Another thing is, my dad used to be extremely homophobic and transphobic. He's also a really big Trump supporter and still is a Trump supporter. But since me coming out, my dad's not homophobic or transphobic at all anymore. He supports it a lot more than he should. Well, not than he should, but than I expected. But that was another really big reason I used to be scared, because what was he gonna think when he found out his child was trans and bi? And Now he's 100% supportive, but that was another really scary thing. Then comes 9th grade. Now, 9th grade, I met my best friend right now. Like, she's basically like my best friend's soulmate, named Adri. I'm probably gonna tell you to watch this. Love you. And, well, I hope she doesn't care that I'm saying this, but she's transgender, MTF, and she taught me a lot. And I remember one day she jokingly put a beanie on me and was like, haha, you look like a Luke. And I was like, haha. And you know, whatever. We kind of didn't really talk about it then. And then after a while, I went back to the subject on it and ended up telling her stuff that I never told anyone. I didn't know who to go to, but I went to her because I knew that she'd be able to help me with all this shit and understanding myself. And she did, and she was the only one that really knew for a while. And then there was a big stage of my 10th grade year. It was either end of 9th grade or 10th grade year. I would wear a whole bunch of dresses and skirts because that's when I really knew. And I was trying to like fix myself, which obviously didn't work, you know. I wanted my tatas off. I didn't want that down there. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin, but I tried to erase it, which is why my mom at first didn't really believe it. I do have a story time about my coming out story. Go to my page, check that out. Promo. You know, I ended up going to counseling and stuff. I'm obviously on T now, so everything's good and fine now, but I mean, that's basically how I knew. Like, you know, tried on my uncle's clothes, felt better in myself, kept growing up, didn't like what was here, didn't like what was there, and here I am today, having a top surgery consultation. And I'd like to thank everyone who supports me and is there for me, whether it's here on YouTube, Instagram, Musically, wherever else. You all mean a lot to me, and I love you all, so thank you. As well as other inspirations that aren't my friend, you know what I mean? Like Miles McKenna, people like that. But Daddy loves you all. Hope you have a good day, good night.